Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So this video is completely about isopods, so if you're only into shrimp and you're not into the isopods, feel free to leave now. You won't be thought any less of. And I want to start this video with my substrate, my soil mix. So I won't sort of go through the quantities, but I just want to explain what I put in my substrate mix. So firstly, I put in moss, peat, so peat moss, put in peat moss, I put in topsoil, I put in worm castings, I put in calcium carbonate, I also put in a little bit of dried out coconut fibre coir or whatever it's called, coconut husk, just to sort of make it a little bit fluffier. There is no nutritional value at all in the coconut fibre, the coconut husk, but I find that it holds water and it makes the substrate a little bit lighter, a little bit fluffier. On top of that, I also put into my mix rotting wood. I put in leaf litter, sort of crushed up leaf litter, and finally I put in a bit of rotting whitewood, and sort of makes it a nice fluffy airy sort of substrate that will hold water if you want it to, and moisture, you know, so you can set up a nice moisture gradient in this substrate. So that's the first bit. I know people don't like talking about their substrate mixes. I won't go into the quantities, but that is the contents that I put in mine. So next we've got some unboxings. We've got 2 of those, and there's some really sort of nice stuff coming in those. And finally we'll go through sort of building a tub, how to create a tub, what I put in a tub and why, and we'll sort of go through those. So let's get to the unboxings first, and then we'll pick up sort of housing those at the end of the video. This is the first of our unboxings then for this video. So this one, I really like the box. It's got air holes in the top. It's a box with a lid, which I find really good. It's easy to open, or easier to open, should I say. Really like these boxes actually. So this is from Isopods. You can find Isopods on eBay, and they've given me some extras. The small ones of the, can't think what these are called, I sell these myself, of the lotus heads. So the ones I sell are larger but more for aquatic use than pod use. Got a heat pack that's still nice and warm, and then our pods and a little note. So the pods are wrapped as well. And I really like these. They're not an expensive pod as far as pods go. And nicely tubbed. Let's get that out of the way. Again, I'll try and do this and keep this on camera if I can, which I never do. One more. And then I'll put my box in that we've got pre-prepared. So in here I've got my soil mix, some leaf litter, a bit of cork bark for them to go in, a damp area with some sphagnum moss. And if we just open this up, and there we have, and I'm probably going to butcher the name, Porcellio flavomarginatus. So a nice coloured pod with a skirt, or a white skirt. They look beautiful. They look better in person than I've seen them in pictures. But we'll let these guys make the way out and move to the next unboxing. Really been looking forward to this one. So this parcel is, I believe, from Daniel at Iso King. So Iso King, I've done an unboxing of theirs before, can be found on Facebook, ISOKING, and they've also got some WhatsApp groups and stuff, but if you find them on Facebook, you'll find them on WhatsApp as well. I think the WhatsApp groups are advertised on there. So I do know what some of these are because I've ordered them, but I believe that Daniel has sent me some gifts as well. So really well packaged, first of all. So it's all in a polystyrene box. So Iso King, ISOKING, is the provider, and I'll start with the left side. I believe my pods are in the right side. So first off then, I've got some rotting wood, and I need one of these for my soil mix, as we mentioned. So I've got 2 of those. I've also ordered some live moss, and it's quite a thick stuffed bag. So 2 lots of live moss. I'm going to eventually illuminate the racks where those guys are. Heat pack's still very warm, and Daniel sent me some foods that he makes. So one of them is called Sea Gem and the other one is Tropical Punch. So thanks for those, Daniel, much appreciated. And then if we go into our isopods, I'll do these separately as well. So the first lot of Nosatum, and I may have mentioned earlier that I've got a few Nosatum I wanted to top the colony up, so those are my Nosatums. I'll get all these out and show you all these once I've sort of moved the box and stuff. I've then got some, I don't want to try and pronounce it, I think they're Tracheopus caucasus, but I'll get the names up on screen. And then these are the ones that I was really looking forward to. So Armadillidium klugii skeleton, or nebula. So they're called 2 different names. So it's a morph of the clown isopod, and I'll show you those as well. And then we've got a gift. I'll get all these open and I'll get the names off Daniel. Another gift and another gift. So I've been gifted 3. I'm not sponsored here, by the way. I've been gifted 3 different pots of isopods. So I'll have to find out the names of those and get those out. So let's cut there. We'll move the box out of the way. I'll reposition the camera. I'll go through setting up a tub and decorating a tub, and then we'll get some stuff in one of the tubs. Let's start with the tub I've already got prepared, and this is the Nosatum. So the Armadillidium Nosatum Peach. So I've only got a couple of these, and I've got my soil mix, a bit of cork, some leaf litter, and this is leaf litter here that I need to sort of use up, but some leaf litter as a food source. I do feed occasionally. I've got some sphagnum moss at one end, so this will be my damp end, and I'll create a moisture gradient. So this will be damp, this will be quite damp, this will be generally damp, and this will be quite dry, and it gives the pod an opportunity to sort of choose from a moisture perspective where they want to be. I've also got a piece of cuttlebone in here as well, just to add a calcium source, and sometimes I crumble that up and powder that. So let's have a look. I've got nothing under here. I do think I've got one under here, or I did have earlier. So this is my Nosatum, or one of my Nosatums, and you can probably see some springtails here, just to sort of make the tub bioactive. So this is one of the Nosatums. I believe there are 3 in here, and I'm literally just going to add these new ones into that colony. So, and I'll keep the sphagnum, I'll use that in with mine, and I'm probably just going to make sure there's nothing in the pot, just tip those out, and you can see them here. There's one here. Let's see if I can get it curling up. So here's one of those. I don't know if that's in focus, but Nasatum. So Nasatum come in a variety of colours. These are a line of peach, but if you look closely on them, they've got some really nice sort of markings on them. So we'll let these guys sort of settle in. One's already popped down there. We'll let those settle in and we'll move on to the next one. So the next one is the nebulas, and if we just put a lid on this. So these are Braplast tubs, and they're vented round here, so just be cautious with these holes if you're keeping something that climbs quite heavily. I don't like it too sort of high, but Marulonella species, if they've got young, they'll get out of here, so you could sponge fill those. But let's move that to one side for a second, and what I'm going to do is start with this one. So I've already labelled these. I use a label printer, can't remember the name of it, but Armadillidium klugii skeleton. And what we're going to do is we'll get some soil mix in here, so bear with me. So I paused for a second then just to put some of the rotting wood in my mix, and we're going to put down a base. You can see the wood there and how sort of light and airy this is. So put down a base. That should be enough. Should be more than enough. And I like to sort of break up any big bits that I come across. I mean, the pods, if they're burrowing species, will sort of aerate and break stuff up anyway. So next I'm going to put on a piece of cork, so just a little bit of a shelter. And the cork here I bought some sort of I bought from the cork shed off eBay, so they do sort of weight of small species for spiders and slings and stuff. Bought a couple of bags of those. So then I'll put in a bit of sphagnum moss. So where's my sphagnum moss? I'm actually not going to put my sphagnum moss in until I've put in the nebula. So I have bits of moss in my soil as well. So let's see if we can show you guys the nebula. See if we can get one to come out. Here we go. So let's put those in there. So we've got a couple in there. Let's see if I can show you guys those. Hopefully that's in focus. And what I'll do is there's actually 4 there. Let's see if I can get this guy a bit closer. So sometimes called skeleton. Let's put him in his house. Come on, mister. There you go. So the reason I didn't put any sphagnum moss in just yet is because I want to use this bit of sphagnum moss, so I don't sort of overload it with sphagnum moss, and then just fill up any gaps that may be there. So Daniel's sphagnum looks really different to mine, in a good sense. So, and then what I'll do is I'll create an area of leaf litter for these guys to sort of munch on. My leaf litter, I've just literally used up some packets of leaves that I sell for the shrimp business, and I think I've got jackfruit leaf, beech, oak leaf, all sorts in there. And finally what I'll do, I'll use this spray bottle, but I normally use my pressurized one, is I'll give one end a spray. So I want this end quite wet in comparison to the other end, so it gives them a moisture gradient. And then finally, when I can find them, we put on a lid. Actually, saying that, I put that moss in, and what I am going to start doing is using, don't know where I put it, some of the live moss, but I'll probably hang on and do that a bit later because I need them under lighting. So and obviously this moss will require some light, whereas at the moment they're on a shelf with no lighting. So where that moss is currently, I'll probably replace that with some live moss. Okay, so let's move on to the next one then. So let's put this one out of the way. Sorry but not the camera. And our next one is, so going to be exactly the same. I'll put the names up of these on screen. A little bit more. And I'll have a bit of a sweep up later. Maybe a tad more down that end. Okay, so similar process, bit of cork, so somewhere for them to hide, and we're doing, that's a gift, I think they're called Tracheopus caucasus, and I'll get some bigger pictures, but there is one out. I'll see if I can get some sort of zoomed in shots of these guys as well. They're all down the bottom. I don't know if that's going to focus. Let's get these guys in their home. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'll leave the sphagnum in there, but I am going to put in some of the live moss. So not too much. Nice piece, and I think instantly that looks so much better. That look straight on it, look. It'll be moving in a minute because I'm going to give this a bit of a spray. But gone straight into that moss. I need to read up on these guys, what their environment should be. But again, a lid. I do need to label that, so I need to go and print off a label. But sort of gives you an idea of how I tub them up, and then I think we'll finish with just going through the gifts and working out which ones are which. I'll set the 3 boxes up together and we'll go through those and work out which ones is which. So let's go to that then. So I've been out printing labels. The name that I butchered earlier was Tracheopus caucasus or Tracheopus caucasus. I'm not sure how you pronounce those. So let's get that label on. And then the gifts that were sent to me were, I think someone's about to knock the door. So the gifts that were sent to me were Armadillidium pallasii orange, and I'll show you those in a second. Likewise, we've got Armadillidium vulgare yellow mocha, and those are in here. And then these ones, I'm going to try and pronounce these, but these shocked me a little bit. Desmoxites planata pink dragons. So I'll put these on, I'll get the camera down, we'll label them up, and I'll see if I can get you some video of these as well. Let's start from the top then. So these are Nasatum peach, and we've got a couple of Nasatum peach there. So Armadillidium Nasatum peach. These were what I was really looking forward to. Armadillidium klugii skeleton. I've just seen one nip into here. There's one down there. Not sure if we can zoom in any better, or if we've got any. There's one. So this is Trachylepis caucasus. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's video, so hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it useful and informative and enjoyable more than anything. And if you did and you're not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Helps us out massively. Smash the like, leave some comments. We try and answer as many comments as we can, or usually most of them. But until next time, thanks for watching everyone. Bye.